Hey, what's up you guys, it's Connor, and today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. If you guys don't know, The Obelisk Gate is the second book in the Broken Earth series. I did a book review for the first book and I'll leave that up in the card symbol if you want to check it out. But this one is also going to be non-spoiler, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. The Broken Earth series takes place on this huge continent that's ruled by this city called Jemisin, and this continent is very unstable and has shifting plate tectonics and everything like that, which cause a lot of volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, etc. Jemisin controls all of these people that are called origines, who are the people that are able to feel the earth moving and are able to stop earthquakes from happening, stop volcanoes from erupting, as well as causing those things to happen. Gather them all up and put them in a place called the Fulcrum, and then train them and force them to serve them. It has different seasons, like how our world has different seasons, but in this world there are periods of apocalyptic events, and they're called fifth seasons, and at the beginning of the first book, a new fifth season has begun. If you want to know more of my thoughts on the first book, click that review. I'll leave it also down in the description, but now we're going to be talking about The Obelisk Gate. As usual with my book reviews, I'm going to go through my pros, go through my cons, give you my rating, and be done. My first pro for The Obelisk Gate is that it starts off immediately after the fifth season ends. I don't even know if there's any time that passes in between the two books. It picks up straight away and you continue the story. In addition to continuing the storylines from the first book, you're also given a new point of view, which I really appreciate. It's the point of view of a young origin who is trying to survive this apocalyptic period with their own wit and their own knowledge and instincts. So you get a cool contrast between this young origin trying to survive this time period and an older origin who is more seasoned and has more experience and more control over their powers, as well as a more concrete set of ideals. I also like that the characters in this book are so believable with the situations that are happening to them. They're so much so a product of what has happened to them and where they are and the environments that they're in, that I can completely get behind them and believe that they feel and think and perform things in this way versus that way. And I just found it really interesting to read about. A big pro for this book is that the magic system is expanded so much in this book. While reading the first book, I was really wanting to know more information about it because the characters were learning about the magic system themselves, and they're still learning about it in this book, but I also got to learn more about the magic system with them. You learn way more about the Guardians, which are the people that control the origins, and they have their own political system going, and you learn way more about the origins and why their powers are instinctual, and the different flavors really of orogeny and how they can accomplish different things. In addition to the different flavors and styles of orogeny, you learn about the limits of orogeny and how it does have limits and you can't just do whatever you want. There are consequences, and I really appreciate that there weren't these people that were just overpowered and could do whatever they want. It's just very, very interesting, and I really enjoyed myself while learning about the magic system. And with the magic system, you also learn a lot more about the Stone Eaters and what they're doing and what they're about. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but they were all super, super cool to learn about. In addition to the magic system being more fleshed out and more explained, the world is also fleshed out. You learn a lot more about the different cultures that originally made up this continent and how different they are from each other, and the different subtleties that one group had versus another group. And with learning about the different cultures, you also learn a little bit more about the history of the world and how it all came to be and how they all were united in the first place. And my last pro for this book was that I just thought it was a bit more cathartic at the very end. There were some plot lines that actually ended, and so some things did come to a conclusion and you got that feeling of accomplishment while finishing the book. Obviously more things have been brought up and there's more storylines to learn about in the third book, but I like that this book felt like an ending more so than the first book did. So that bumped it up for me. And the only con that I really had for this book was that it was just a bit slower than the first book for me. It's not as big as the first book, but it still took me about the same amount of time to finish it. And I think that's because it didn't feel as pressing, but just going in, know that this is a little bit slower paced than the first one. At least it was for me. So overall, I really, really enjoyed The Obelisk Gate. I ended up giving it 5 stars because I just thought it was absolutely amazing. I gave the 5th season 4.75 stars, I think, so this was just a little bit better for me and I ended up giving it 5 stars. I definitely recommend the Broken Earth series. So that's going to be my review on The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and comment down below if you've read the Broken Earth series. Are you excited about the third book that comes out this year? If you're interested in reading this book now, let me know that as well because I would love to talk about it. And anything else you want me to know, leave it down below and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye. Oh, and if you want to know what my shirt says, it says Potter Weasley 2016.